Hello and welcome. Here we are for Chapter 6 of The Coin. My name is Kevin Masterson and I'll be performing a reading today. So without further ado, The Coin, Chapter 6. Chapter 6. She, Jessie, left and she drove to where the homeless man camp is, who gave them grief earlier that day. She parked her car, got out, walked cautiously to the homeless man camp to find out that he wasn't there. So she found a cubbyhole to wait for him, with her bag of special tool weapons, until he got back to go to sleep. In the meantime, Jake was on his way to the same homeless man spot, where he camps. Little did he know that Jessie was there already, in a cubbyhole with the same intentions as Jake, to torture, maim, and kill the guy and take souvenirs off his body to take home with them, to either bury or eat them. Jake checked the area, noticed he wasn't in his spot. He found him a cubbyhole not too far away from Jessie to wait until the homeless man came back to go to sleep. All the while, Jessie or Jake did not know that either one of each other was there waiting for the homeless man to come back to his spot. A short while passed. It was late at night. The homeless man was walking and stumbling down the street towards his camp, drunk, attempting to try to sing a song. He wasn't feeling no pain. There wasn't nobody else around. Jessie and Jake, both in their cubbyholes, can hear him coming to his spot. They both waited until he got closer. They both were impatient! Suddenly, Jessie jumped out of her cubbyhole with her specially made tools of weapons and cut the drunk man's head off. In the middle of the man's body falling down and head lying on the ground, Jessie stooped over to pick up his head to put it in her bag. Then Jake came out of his cubbyhole, saw what was happening. Jessie turned to him, Jake, and was astonished, saying, "Ew, ew." Oh my goodness. They looked at one another and noticed that each one had similar type tools of weapons, and wondering why each other met there with the same purpose in mind. Nevertheless, nothing was said to each other. Jessie was still holding the homeless man's head in her hand. She proceeded to put it in her bag. Jake cut off his hands and feet and put them in his bag, and Jessie cut out his heart and put it in her bag also. They did what they wanted to do and trotted on the way out of there. Jessie says, "Come on, let's go to the car." They got to the car, which wasn't too far away, put their bags in the trunk and got in the car and drove off. Jessie is driving! Jake caught the bus to the homeless man camp. "Let's go to my house."
Okay, good.
They went to his house. "Let's bring all the bags inside."
Okay.
When they got inside, for some strange reason, they didn't talk. They just went to the job at hand, cleaning the body parts to prepare them for cooking, and that would be the meal for the night. By the way, Jessie kept the head of the homeless man to dispose of it later, whichever way she see fit. While the meal was cooking, which Jessie stepped up to fix, they sat around for a while listening to gothic, macabre music, and started looking at each other with lust in their hearts. They embraced each other, started kissing and began to take off their clothes, laid down on the floor and started to have sex, until the food was ready. They ate, got full afterwards, cleaned up, took a shower together, and had more sex. They fell asleep and woke up the next morning. Jessie woke up first and looked over at Jake, who was still asleep. She shook him.
Jake, wake up.
"Yeah? What's going on?"
Good morning.
"Good morning."
Do you remember what we did last night?
"Don't talk so loud." "Yes, I do." The demons that is possessing them is letting them see what they are doing, since they have become together as friends. Before, Jessie was doing her evil stuff at an early age, passed on from her parents. On the other hand, Jake was all new to it. Jessie's father knew that he, Jake, had possession of the cursed coin, and the demonic powers was passed on into him because Jessie's parents was looking for a husband for Jessie to get married and have children and to keep the evil demonic bloodline going.
I don't know what to say.
I don't neither, but let's keep this to ourselves until we can find out more about what's going on with us.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'm going home. It's always good to be with you.
Same here. Call me when you get there, and be safe.
Okay, will do.
On her, Jessie, way home, she buried the head of the homeless man in a field close to where she keeps her stash of tool weapons. Jessie made it home and called Jake, letting him know she got home safely and invited him over to her house next week for dinner. He agreed with the invitation and she will call to make plans. When for him to come over, Jake went on with regular activities. He was feeling very awkward at work, home, and out and around about town. But he wouldn't make it obvious about what he and Jessie did a few days ago. The next weekend rolled around, which was a Saturday, and Jake called Jessie for a date to go see a movie after he performed. And then they would go to her house for dinner.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm more than sure that would be fine with my parents. I'll meet you there on the promenade.
Okay, good. See you then.
Okay, bye.
Jessie let her parents know that her and Jake have a movie date and will come to the house for dinner afterwards. They agreed, the parents, and will have everything ready for them, the dinner, when they arrive. Their movie was over. They both enjoyed it. When they got to the house, Jessie's parents' home, they expressed it was a good movie, suggested that they should go see it. They sat around and talked for a while, and before they knew it, it was time for Jessie to drive Jake home. But not a word was said from Jessie or Jake about what they did the other week. As time went on, Jake and Jessie were getting closer to each other. Every now and then, Jake would wonder what happened to Carolyn. He was calling her for a while until one day he called and her phone was disconnected. Every once in a while, he would kind of be missing her, wondering where is she and why she hasn't been coming round, and hoping that she's all right. As time went on with Jake and Jessie's relationship, one day Jessie asked Jake whatever happened to Carolyn. He replied, "I don't know. I tried to call her a few times, and at one point, her phone was disconnected."
Oh, I hope she is all right. She seems to be a nice person.
Yeah, she was all right. Jessie knew all the time that she killed Carolyn. She was just playing it off like she is so concerned about what happened to her. Jake didn't have a clue that Jessie killed her, and so on. Carolyn was never discussed between them again. As a matter of fact, about 2 weeks after Jessie killed Carolyn, the neighbors of Carolyn were smelling a horrible odor coming from her apartment. They called the police, explaining the situation to them about the horrible odor coming from her place. They responded saying, "Okay, we will send a patrol car out to investigate." The neighbor who called replied, "Okay, thanks." They arrived and forced their way into her apartment. They found her on the floor, lying dead with her body badly mutilated. They investigated the crime, but nothing never became of it. As time went by, they, Jake and Jessie, kept getting closer, doing a lot of different things together, spending a lot of time with each other. Lo and behold, Jessie got pregnant and Jake stepped up to the plate to be a man and accept his responsibilities of getting married and for them both to live and grow together, raising their child. He, Jake, asked permission for Jessie's hand in marriage from her parents. They agreed! That's what the parents wanted all along. Jake and Jessie's father had a talk about Jake's job at the restaurant, and they both decided that Jake would be better off working for Jessie's father at his place of business in the mailroom. He would make 3 times the money of what he was making at the restaurant where he was currently working. Jake accepted the job at Jessie's father's place of business, and Jessie's parents helped them purchase a home on the other side of town. As time went by, Jessie is about 6 months pregnant and in different situations off and on that they, Jake and Jessie, would get into not of their doings. But they would finish it in their usual manner, killing people and retrieving different body parts to bring home and make a pot of stew to eat. When finished, have a little sex, rest a while, and then go to sleep. When they, Jake and Jessie, would have time, they would go over to Jessie's parents' house to socialize and eat and just to spend quality time with family. All the killing Jake and Jessie was doing, they were controlling it well. But as time went by, it was starting to show to Jessie's parents that it was bothering them a little. They would be sitting around in the living room, watching TV. The parents excused themselves one day and went into the other room to talk. They decided to tell them everything why they was doing what they were doing. The parents came back in the room and said, "Hey guys, there is something we have to tell you." They had a seat. The parents, Mr. Wilcox said, "Guys, the reason you guys have been behaving the way you have They interrupted and responded at the same time. What do you mean? Let me finish. I know everything you guys have been doing.
Serious?
For real?
Johnny and I know everything you guys have been doing. What's really going on, Mom?
Yeah, what's really happening? Guys, this is what's going on. Our family is with the secret society of the Order of the Devil, Satan. Jessie and Jake both jumped up from their seats, looking at the parents, looking around the room, hollering out expletives, words, walking back and forth for a while until they both, Jessie and Jake, calmed down and sat attentively and directed their undivided attention towards the parents. Mr. Wilcox went on to explain to Jessie and Jake more about their lifestyle. Okay, Jessie! Honey, the power you have, you've been having that from birth. Stay calm, guys, and let me finish telling you guys about the society. Jake, the bent coin you got from the cashier when you picked it up, it transferred the powers into you because what was happening, we needed a husband for my daughter to marry and have a child to take over the reins of the society when of age. Jake, we set the whole thing up at the store so you can get the coin. What? What's with that, Mr. Wilcox? Jake standing up in disgust, anger, and disappointment. He was furious! Jake stormed out of the house and Jessie right behind him. She's feeling the same way he was. They jumped into her car and started driving themselves home. Back at the house, Mr. Wilcox expressed his opinion about them running out of the house to Mrs. Wilcox. That's very understandable, the way they are acting.
I agree.
They will come around.
Yes, I think so too.
On the way, driving to their house, Jake was driving. They, Jake and Jessie, calmed down and came somewhat close to their senses. What's wrong with your parents?
I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't like it.
They're still driving! What are we going to do about this?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Yes, I do.
You do? What is it?
We're almost home. I'll tell you when we get inside the house. They, Jake and Jessie, arrived to their home, went in and got comfortable. Jessie went into the bathroom and Jake was sitting on the sofa in deep thought. When Jessie came out of the bathroom, she walked in the living room. She noticed Jake was in a deep thought.
What's on your mind, honey?
I'm thinking that we should see a priest and get an exorcism performed on us to get rid of all these demons in us, and it's probably in our baby too.
Okay, Jake, if that's what you want to do, I agree. I think it is a very good idea.
Let's get this done and start a new life for ourselves.
I most definitely agree. Okay.
Jake searched around for a priest who can perform the exorcism. After a couple of weeks later, he located one who has permission from the Vatican to perform the task. The priest's name is Father Milan. They are talking on the phone. He agreed, the priest, to perform the exorcism for them in their house. After Jake explained to him the circumstances surrounding the reason for locating him, Father, what schedule are you going to set up for us to get together to plan out the circumstances?
Right now, I'll have to check my schedule and call and let you know. No worries, it will just be a day or two.
They both agreed and said their goodbyes on the phone. One day passed and Father called Jake and Jessie, phone ringing. They were both home because it was a weekend. He didn't have to work.
Hello?
Hello, yes. Is Mr. Jake Wilson home?
Yes, he is. Who's calling?
This is Father Milan.
Oh, hi, Father. How are you?
I'm great. And yourself?
We're fine. I'm Jake's wife. Are you calling to set up the appointment?
Yes. Pleased to talk to you. Let me speak with your husband, please.
Okay, let me get him. We'll see and talk to you soon, sir.
Okay.
In the background, Jessie hollering, Jake's name out loud. Yeah, Jessie?
Telephone, it's Father Milan.
Jake walked over to where Jessie was. She handed him the phone. It must be the priest who I talked to who will perform the exorcism. Hello, Father Milan? How's everything?
Everything is great. Are you guys okay?
Yes, we are, sir.
Okay, good. Here's what's going on. I can be over at your house Tuesday June 12th at 10 a.m. to talk with you, if that's okay for you all.
Yes, sir. That's a good time.
Okay, good. I'll give you a call that morning to let you know that I'm on my way and to get your address so I can get directions on how to get there.
Okay, Father. We'll be waiting for your call.
Okay, good. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye. Fast forward. The next Tuesday morning, about 8:15 a.m., phone ringing. Hello?
Hello, Jake.
Jake recognizes the father's voice. Yes? Hello, Father Milan. How are you?
Okay, I'm great. Just calling to see if all is okay for today. I will be there at 10 a.m. Plus, I need for you to give me your address.
Jake said everything is okay and gave him their address. The father thanked him and said,
I'll be there at 10 a.m.
Okay, we will be here. See you then, Father.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Father Milan arrived at Jake and Jessie's house at 10 a.m. as planned and rang the bell. Jessie answered the door.
Hello, Father Milan. Come on in.
She knew it was him because he had his priest attire on. Hi, okay. They walked to the living room, Jessie and Father Milan. Jake was sitting on the sofa. Jake stood up and walked towards Father Milan, and they shook hands. Hello, Father Milan. Have a seat.
Thank you. I think I will.
Father, Jake, and Jessie had a seat.
Okay, folks, I need for you to tell me everything. So you say you know that Satan is possessing you all, and possibly your child too.
That has been Chapter 6 of The Coin. Thank you for following along with us. Remember, there is a link in the description if you'd like to buy the book yourself. Remember, like, subscribe, and share as much as you can. Really having a fun time here and hope to get some more people involved. Thank you. Have a great day. Excited, the priest stood up again and started to squirt more water on Jake and Jessie, saying out loud, "In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit."
Kevin.
Kevin.